Welcome everybody to Brazilian Kitchen. My name is Pedro and I'm your host for today's video. As promised, I'm gonna show you my day-to-day in culinary school. But wait, this is not the video yet. The video today, I got the idea from a friend of mine. She told me after we started talking about culinary school, she told me that she cuts everything in her hands. Let's say she grabs an onion, she put it in her hand, she cuts it in her hand. And she does the same with tomatoes, with onions, with carrots and everything else. So today this video is basically gonna show you how to cut stuff in a safe way. The main problem with the way that she cuts it is that she might hurt herself. So she uses a table knife to cut the onion in her hand, and if the knife slides or something like that, she's gonna be taking a beef out of her hand, right? We don't want to eat our own hands, at least not today, at least not in the future. We don't want to eat our own hands, at least I don't want mine. I really like mine the way they are today. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna learn how to properly cut stuff. I'm not trying to say that I'm the master, that I'm perfect or whatever it is. I'm just trying to tell you how I've learned. And we look for safety in cooking school because we're gonna be chopping a lot of stuff. As I've told you in the previous video, we chopped a lot of stuff in the first month. We wanna do it safely, right? Because we all wanna go back home with our fingers and not leave it on our food or whatever. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna cut some stuff, some vegetables for a mirepoix, which is basically a French word that means, I don't know what it means. I looked for a translation, but I couldn't find any. So next week I'm gonna ask my French teacher. Hi Camus, ça va? Next week I'm gonna ask her what it exactly means, but I'm gonna explain to you. Mirepoix is the base of the most famous stock. So if you're doing a vegetable stock, what you're doing is you're putting mirepoix inside a pan with water and you're cooking that until it becomes the stock or a vegetable stock that you're gonna use in other preparation. It's the base of a lot of food that you and I eat in restaurants and everything. I've done plenty of it in cooking school. I'm gonna be doing so much more, and now I'm gonna be showing you. It's a very simple preparation. All it takes is onions, carrots, and celery. You rough chop everything, you put it in a pan, you put water in it, and you let it simmer for hours. Basically, that's it. So, without further ado, I'm gonna show you how to cut everything. But before we go there, don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, or if you think you're gonna like this video because you haven't watched it yet. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and let's go. As I said it, my friend cuts everything with the table knife, which is very dangerous. Table knives, they were not meant to cut like everyday vegetables and everything. It's meant to cut the things that are already on your plate, ready to eat, right? So it's much different. It's very different than cutting like a raw carrot versus cutting a small carrot that's on your plate that you want to eat, you know? So my friend, there's a few things that I wanted to point out. The most important thing, you never point a knife in your own direction. You don't want to get cut. So you never put your knife pointing towards your body, right? So especially with the carrots are heavy, they are tough, they are hard. So you put the knife here and you make pressure, you put force, what's gonna happen? It's gonna cut the carrot, and then it's gonna go all the way into you and you're gonna hurt yourself. We do not want that. First thing, this is not for cutting unless you're sitting on a table and you're eating your own meal. So I'm gonna put this away. Next step, a knife. This is what's called a chef's knife. You guys can see from here I bought this from IKEA, and now it's 2022. I bought this 4 years ago when I moved to the US. It cost me $10 with it was a set with a paring knife, a bread knife, and this chef knife. It's very cheap and it's for your own safety. So please go get yourself one of this. I also have a peeler, which is used for peeling stuff, right? So as you saw in the video, my friend, she was using the knife to scrape.
Scrape or scrap? Scrape, yeah, I think it's scrape.
So we're not gonna use the knife to do that, we're gonna use a peeler. And always, the peeler is also very sharp, so it has like two knives, basically two blades over here, and we're gonna use this to peel, so always away from your body. You don't wanna get it tangled somehow, and then it's not going, and then boom, you kill your finger. That's not fun, don't do that. This, and then you do the turn, keep doing until you got the whole carrot peeled. You see, really easy. In, I don't know, what was that, 10 seconds? In 10 seconds, you got a full peeled carrot. So it's much easier than scraping with a knife. One good practice, as always, have yourself a trash bin. You know, for me, my trash bin is far away. So what most cooks will do is they will have a container that will act as the trash bin. In school, we use a hotel pen, which I'm gonna show you. And here, I bought myself my own hotel pen after starting school, of course. So that's what I'm gonna use as well. My hotel pen. So I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna have all of the trash thrown inside my hotel pen. So once I'm done with cutting everything, it's ready, it's easy, so I can just take this to the trash can, put it all out. Much easier. So I'm gonna do this. We also use what is called a bench scraper. What this does is it's gonna scrape your workbench and make it easier. So you guys saw how I took all of the carrot peelings off. If I had my bench scraper here, I would just take it, I would go under it, and then I would toss everything. It would make everything so much easier. Moving on, we peel the carrot. We're gonna take the ends of it. This is the parts that nobody wanna eat, right? So this goes to the trash. So for a mirepoix, it's all gonna go inside a pan to become stock. So I'm just gonna rough chop it. I'm gonna cut this into thirds. And then I'm gonna cut into halves and quarters. Now that I have this here, the quarters, I'm gonna line them up and I'm gonna cut them into smaller pieces. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna use my knife to line everything up. So here, rough cut, right? It's big pieces, it's going into stock. So, okay, I'll keep doing this. And since this is only a rough cut, I can add more pieces so I can speed up my pace of work. Right? One thing that is very important, you want to use your hand as a claw, right? So if you hold whatever it is that you're cutting like this and you go like this, eventually you're gonna be cutting your own fingers, and we definitely don't want that. You want to use your hand like a claw. So whenever you're cutting, you're gonna use the back of your fingers as a safeguard for the blade, and you're not gonna cut your fingers, right? One thing you don't want to do, and I'm gonna do it this time, but just to show you guys, you don't want to use your blade to scrape things off your cutting board. This is gonna make your knife dull. So you don't want to be scratching this into the cutting board. This is fine. This will not make it dull, but doing like this, it will. I used to do this many times. Every time I was cutting something, I would use the blade of my knife, I would put it on the cutting board, and I would pull everything that I had together. If you want to do this, if you need to do this, use the back of your knife. I have my carrots. They are now rough chopped. For the mirepoix, I'm gonna get another container to set this apart. A sheet tray. This is what you use in cooking school, and this is what I'm using. You can see it's very shiny, it's very new. I just bought it off the box, washed it, and I'm gonna use it for the first time with you guys. I will take this as the container that I'm gonna separate everything that I'm cutting. Now I'm gonna get my celery and I'm gonna rough chop it. My celery has been pre-washed. I'm gonna take the ends off because, you know, this doesn't look good. So I'm gonna take it off. Always remember to use a rocking motion. I don't know if you guys have tried to cut beef in the past, but I was going like this because I didn't know how to cut better. What I'm always gonna do here is I'm gonna set this on the cutting board, and then I'm gonna do a rocking motion. That's it. That's one swift pass and you cut everything. So this is what I'm gonna do. The end portion, this is going into the trash. This one is a rough cut. I'm still gonna use it. So I'm setting this aside on my sheet tray. I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna cut the end. Now from here, I'm gonna cut the celery in half, lengthwise. One other thing that they use a lot in culinary school to cut is called the tunnel. So I'm gonna set my hand like a tunnel and the knife goes underneath the tunnel. So I'll do like this, boom. I cut everything in half. Now I'll just rough chop it like I was showing you guys before. And something that you want to do is you always bring your hand, you move your hand back, right? Instead of moving the food forward into the knife. The last thing that we're going to cut today for our mirepoix is the onion. I don't know about you, but I used to cry a lot when I cut onions. In culinary school, they showed me there's a better way to do it. And this is what I'm gonna show you guys today. First things first, we use our chef knife and we're gonna cut both ends of the carrot. It doesn't seem like this onion's too fresh, but whatever. I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna cut the end. We don't wanna cut this butt too much because this is what holds all of the onion together. So if we're looking to cut into squares, we wanna keep some of it. So I'm gonna cut, but not too much. Right? You still have some of the butt here, but mostly you cut it off. Next step is we're gonna cut our onion in half. You can see here that the onion has lines in it. Maybe it's not clear on the video, but when you look at it, you can clearly tell that there are lines. You wanna cut the onion in half, but along the lines. If you cut across the lines, it's gonna release more of its juice and it's gonna make you cry more. And now I'm gonna turn them upside down. So now it's releasing its juices and everything, which is what's gonna make you cry. And now you're not crying as much, right? This is not like a foolproof or anything, but it helps a lot. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna peel it. So I'll take this and I'll start stretching it until I can take feel of the onion. So both my onions, not my knives, they are peeled. They don't have any of the clover that they had before. So now I'm gonna start cutting them. And you can cut them in several ways. If you're looking for square cut or dice cut, let's use this side and I'm gonna show you. So we still have the butt here, right? That holds everything together. And I'm gonna use my knife to cut horizontally, and then I'm gonna cut vertically, and after that I'll dice it up. But this is also kind of risky. Remember I said try not to turn your blade into your hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use tablecloth to hold my onion for me. Not to the end, because we want it still to hold it together, right? So I'm gonna cut it and look at my knife, look where it is, right? You guys see it? I'm not gonna cut all the way to the end. Now I'm gonna take my knife off, I'm gonna start it over, right? Keep holding it, take my knife off, and now I'll do it again. So I got my onion cut. I don't know if you guys can see, but like I have several like half cuts. I'm gonna take this now and I'm gonna cut it vertically. First step, I'm gonna hold everything together, and now I can go all the way to the end in the cutting board. And you notice that some of it has gone astray, right? Some of it is not happy to be cut into dices. So what you're gonna do is, depending on what preparation you want, for most home meals, you won't care about this. So you just keep cutting, but you want them, you want most of them to be like the same size, right? Roughly the same size. And notice that this is the first time that I started frying, but it's like not a lot. So anyway, I'll keep going. Okay, so I got to the end. Some of it has fallen apart. That's gonna happen, but you can see already that this is like kind of the size of the dice that I was looking for, because I was just gonna show you guys. So if you were like in a restaurant or something, maybe you want like fine dices or whatever. But here we're gonna do a mirepoix. So I'm gonna set this apart. A mirepoix container. And now everything that I cut in this onion is gonna be like dice sized. So I'm gonna start here. I make sure that I hold my sides of the onion, as well as make the claw to protect my fingers, right? If you take a look, you'll see that most of it is like cut into the same size of dices, and this is what we were looking for in the beginning. Set this apart for a mirepoix. And like I said, everything else is rough chopped, so I don't care too much about this onion. So I'm just gonna rough chop the rest of it. But if I was making a dish that called for a diced onion, this is how I would do it. The rest of it, I'm just gonna rough chop. You don't have to think about it too much, right? Okay, I'm gonna use my bent scraper because everything is like separated, right? Here it is. This is what a bench scraper looks like. So I'm gonna use it to get everything close. And I'll scrape everything. Everything is here. I'm just gonna toss it. Okay, now we have got everything that we need for our mirepoix. This was the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you have learned at least something new. And I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you have liked it, please hit the like button. That really helps us. And if you don't, please comment and say how I could do better. I would really love to hear that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Até logo!